Hello everyone, myself Dr. Manoj Kumar, working as an assistant professor in Department of EC at MLR Institute of Technology, Hyderabad. I am here to deliver a lecture talk on electrical bridges. This is overview of my presentation. First of all, I would like to discuss basic of electrical bridges. After that, I will be doing some classification of electrical bridges. Finally, I will taking some working of electrical bridges and at last some applications. So first of all, I would like to discuss the basic of bridges. What do you mean by electrical bridges? As in the diagram, we can see that electrical bridges are nothing but it is a closed loop electrical circuit having 4 branches. So if a electrical circuit having 4 branches and it is in the closed loop, we can say that this is a electrical bridge. Here also we can see that there are 4 branches or 4 component and these all are connected in a closed loop. So we can say that this is a type of electrical bridge. So bridge has been classified basically under 2 categories, DC bridge and AC bridge. Under DC bridge we can see that there are basically 2 types, one is Wheatstone, other is Kelvin bridge. There are other bridges also, but basically these 2 bridges are widely used for the various applications. So bridges has been categorized as DC bridge as well as an AC bridge. Under DC bridge we can see that Wheatstone bridge and Kelvin bridge. Then AC bridge further classified in 3 categories. First is inductance bridge, capacitance and frequency measurement AC bridge. Under inductance we can see that Maxwell bridge, Hay bridge. Under capacitance we can see that there is Shearing bridge, and for frequency measurement we have Wien bridge. So this is the basic classification of an electrical bridges. One by one we will see the working of each bridges. So first of all, I would like to discuss the DC bridge, and the most important category of DC bridge is Wheatstone bridge. In Wheatstone bridge we can see that there are 4 resistors, okay, and they are connected in a closed loop fashion. So from diagonally you can see that you give power source and in another diagonal you connect one current meter or detector, okay. So in Wheatstone bridge we are able to see that Wheatstone bridge consists of basically 4 resistors connected in a closed loop fashion as shown in the diagram, and it has 2 diagonal. In one diagonal it is connected a power source V, DC voltage source V, and in other diagonal BD it is connected a current meter, okay, or current detector. Why there is need of a current detector we will discuss. So first of all, I would like to discuss the basic working principle of any bridge. All the bridges are based on the balance condition working principle. What is balance condition? Balance condition is nothing. Whenever the current flowing through this current detector or current meter becomes 0, then we can say that this bridge has been balanced, okay. So balance condition is nothing, it is a condition when there no current flow through this current detector or current meter, then the bridge become balanced. Or in other words, we can say that the potential of point B become equal to potential of point D, then the bridge become balanced. Whenever the bridge become balanced, you have to apply this formula, okay. R1 by R3 equal to R2 by R4, okay. So this formula is applicable whenever this bridge is in the balance condition. So Wheatstone bridge is nothing, it is a bridge which consists of a 4 resistor connected in a closed loop fashion as shown in the diagram, and in having one voltage source connected in one diagonal AC and in other diagonal a current detector is connected, okay. whenever the bridge become balanced, you apply this formula. Okay, so in this way we can calculate. Suppose R2 is given, R4 is given, R3 is given, so we can easily calculate the value of R1, unknown resistance. So Wheatstone bridge is also used to calculate the value of unknown resistance. Okay, so if the value of R2, R4, R3 is given, we can easily calculate the value of R1. Okay, so this is the application of a Wheatstone bridge. Now here another application of Wheatstone bridge, we will see that in electrical transmission circuit, whenever we get some short circuit, suppose this is the electrical transmission circuit, it has the length of R1 plus R2. Suppose the total length of this wire is the R1 plus R2. In terms of resistance, we are taking the length. Okay, so suppose at this point there is some short circuit problem. Then suppose our substation is here. How we can know that from this point what is the distance of short circuit point? So we can apply the Wheatstone bridge formula and we can easily calculate at what distance the short circuit has been happened. Let's see how. Suppose this, so see, first of all we can see that this is also a bridge. First try to understand why this is bridge. We can see that there are 4 resistors, 1, 2, 3, 4, and these all 4 resistors connected in a closed loop. That's why we can say that this is a Wheatstone bridge. Okay, so already we know that whenever the Wheatstone bridge in the balance condition, we can apply this formula. Okay, now as we know that short circuit has happened at this point at distance R2 from this origin. So I need to find the value of R2. So first to apply this formula R3 by R4, R1 by R2. This is the basic Wheatstone bridge formula, and from here we want to find R2. So as we know that R equal to R1 plus R2, substituting the value we will get this. So we can easily find at what point the short circuit has been happened. This is one of the application of Wheatstone bridge. Now we will discuss some AC bridges. Okay, in DC bridges we have seen that we have applied a DC source, but in AC bridges always remember we have to apply a AC voltage source. The question arises why we have to apply the AC voltage source? Because in AC bridge it consists of not only resistor, may consist of some capacitor, inductor, and we know that whenever we apply DC source here, the capacitor will act as an open circuit and inductor will act as a short circuit. So in order to avoid those situations, we have to apply the AC voltage source in the AC bridges. So AC construction of AC bridges is similar to the DC bridges. The only difference is that you have to apply AC voltage source, and in the component you might have some resistor, capacitor or inductor, anything. Z1, Z2, Z3, Z4 may consist of inductor, capacitor, resistor or anything. But in DC bridges we have seen that only 4 resistors are there, no capacitor, no inductor. But in AC bridges you may find that here you may find inductor, here you may find capacitor, here you may find resistor. So any component can be there. So this is the basic difference, and rest of the things are similar. It also consists of 4 component connected in a closed loop fashion, one AC voltage source and one current detector. So whenever current in this detector becomes 0, the AC bridge become balanced. Whenever the AC bridge become balanced, you have to apply this formula Z1 into Z4 equal to Z2 into Z3. Okay, so Z1 into Z4, Z2 into Z3. So this is the balance formula for the AC bridges. Okay, here Z denotes the impedance. Why impedance? Already I told, there is the concept of capacitor, inductor and the combination of resistor, capacitor. Okay, so whenever there is capacitor, resistor or combination of resistor, capacitor, the terminology used here impedance. Okay, not resistance, impedance. So this is the balance condition formula for the AC bridges. So in terms of magnitude, Z1 into Z4 equal to Z2 into Z3. In terms of phase, theta 1 must plus theta 4 it must be equal to theta 2 plus theta 3 in terms of phase. Okay. Now we will see some example of AC bridges. So here we can see that Z1 is given 100 ohm angle 80 degree, Z3 given 400 angle 30 degree, Z2 given 250 ohm. Now we have to find the Z4. So we can easily apply the AC bridge balance condition formula and we can calculate the required value of Z4. So in this way, AC bridges is also used to find the unknown impedance and DC bridge is used to find unknown resistance. So this is the basic difference. In AC bridges we can find the unknown impedance and in DC bridges we can find the unknown resistance. Okay. So this is another example. Okay. Z1, Z2, Z3 given. Similarly we can find the Z4 like that. Now the other thing is, other category of AC bridge, we will see that Maxwell bridge. Okay, one of the most important bridge is Maxwell bridge. In Maxwell bridge, it falls under the category of AC bridge. So Maxwell bridge is nothing. It is a type of AC bridge only and it consists of 4 branches we can see here. Okay, having the different component. In component we can see that R1 parallel C1, R3 is there, R2 is there, combination of RX and LX is there. So okay, so in AC bridges the component may be anything, either inductor, capacitor or combination of inductor, capacitor. Unlike DC bridges, only it has a resistor. So you note down this difference. So here we can see that in Maxwell bridge, which is a type of AC bridge, R1 is connected parallel to C1, R2, R3 and here in other side we have RX and LX. RX and LX is unknown inductance and unknown resistance of a coil. Okay. So Maxwell bridge is basically used to find the unknown inductance and unknown resistance of a coil. Okay. You know that this is a coil and I want to find its inductance LX and I want to find its resistance Rx. So Rx here denotes its internal resistance. We are not connecting any external resistance Rx. So you have to note down this point. A coil is having inductance as well as it has internal resistance Rx. So both we can find with the help of Maxwell bridge balance condition formula. Okay. As we know that whenever detector current becomes 0, the bridge become balanced. Now the question arises, how this current will become 0? So here we can find that there are some variable component here present in the bridges. So you have to tune those component so that the current becomes 0. Whenever this current becomes 0, you easily apply this formula. Okay. So here Zx consists of nothing but Zx consists of Rx and Lx. So we can separately find the Rx like this using this formula and Lx using this formula. Okay. So we can find easily unknown inductance and unknown resistance of a coil. So Maxwell bridge is used to find the unknown inductance and unknown resistance of a coil. Now another important bridge is Shearing bridge. It is also a type of AC bridge. It is also a type of AC bridge. Whenever I will say AC bridge, you will find one AC source here. Okay. See, the construction of Shearing bridge is also similar to the Maxwell bridge. Only difference in the component. C1 parallel to R1. There also we will find that C1 was parallel to R1. Here we will find the R2 and opposite to R2 there is a component C3. And this is our unknown capacitance and unknown resistance. So you tune this component capacitor, you vary this component so that the detector current 0 and you can easily apply this balance condition formula for the bridges and you can separately find the value of Rx equal to R2 into C1 by C3 and Cx equal to C3 into R1 by R2. So, sharing bridge is a type of AC bridge which is used to find the unknown capacitance, unknown resistance. Maxwell bridge, unknown inductance, unknown resistance. Wheatstone bridge, unknown resistance. So, these are the application of bridges. Here we can see that we can also find the dissipation factor of a capacitor. Okay, so how to find the dissipation factor? See, dissipation factor is equal to omega into Rx into Cx. Already we have found out Rx and Cx, just substitute the value, we can find the dissipation factor of a capacitor. So, by using sharing bridge, we can find the unknown resistance, unknown capacitance as well as dissipation factor of a capacitor. See, now the last bridge, we will take the Wien bridge. This bridge is also a type of AC bridge, okay, used to calculate the unknown frequency. See, the construction of all the bridges are same, having the 4 branches connected in the closed loop fashion, having one current detector, one voltage source, okay. So, this is the Wien bridge circuit. So, by using this formula, we can find the unknown frequency also. So, Wien bridge is used to find the value of unknown frequency. So, here finally we will conclude with the application. Already I have discussed the application. Wheatstone bridge basically used in the sensor to detect the change in the sensor values, okay, sensing element values, okay. Here also it can be used in the finding unknown inductance, capacitance, resistance, frequency, already we have discussed. So, electrical bridges are very important, okay. So, the concept of electrical bridges should be there. Thank you for listening. Thank you.